ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Luxor. You know the drill by now, we got a pyramid, there's bugs, pushing spheres, trying to come into our pyramid, and we gotta stop them. And if we don't stop them, then Egypt's gonna be ruined. So how are all of you guys doing today? You guys doing good? Hope so. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Hope everyone's having a great day today. And that there's good vibes all around. So, summer is officially in full swing. Well, it's technically not summer yet. That's the 21st. We got mosquitoes. We got cicadas. You know, the bugs that go eeeeee. You get to hear that. We got the heat, we got the barbecue, and we got sunshine. That's really all we need. That's good enough. So, long time ago, way before I was born, this is actually a story when my grandpa was little. So him and his parents were in the car, and they stopped at a gas station and they got snacks. They were going on a road trip somewhere. Now, even though this isn't my story, I can say this has also happened to me. But he was struggling with a package of snacks. And if I remember correctly, it's those orange crackers with peanut butter in the middle. By the way, those things are fire. I don't know what they're called. I would highly recommend them. So anyway, my grandpa's trying to open this sacred pack of peanut butter orange crackers. And he can't open them, and it's plastic, so it's like crinkling. Now, this isn't plastic, this is paper. But just imagine, someone's trying to open a snack, and you just hear... And you just keep hearing that. So this crinkling just continues, and I guess his dad officially had enough, because he swings his arm over the seat, grabs the snack out of his lap, slams it down into his mom's lap, and he goes, "Open these damn things for him!" Yeah, we're gonna be skipping the puzzle levels. I'm just trying to get through it. Don't want to be here until Egypt falls. And we've already did the puzzle levels, so I'm just gonna skip those. In the most hilarious way possible, by just shooting a ball into the heavens. I wonder which god is gonna catch the ball. So yeah, he couldn't handle the crinkling, so he snapped. He crashed out. Now, real quick little tangent here. There's also another version where it's the orange saltine crackers with, like, not nacho cheese, but this, like, whiz cheese spread. Now, this is the only time you're gonna hear me badmouth cheese. Those things are nasty. And I've had Cheez Whiz before. Cheez Whiz is good. But somehow they took the fun substance that is Cheez Whiz, and they, like, I don't even know, it's halfway between a solid and a liquid. It's this depressing, flappy, floppy spread, and it's just nasty. So yeah, if you see orange crackers, always get the peanut butter ones. Screw the cheese, get the peanut butter. Well, actually, there was another time when somebody ruined cheese. So 2 years ago, at Burrito Horn, they had this vegan nacho cheese. And this stuff, I would rather eat 50 of those orange cheese crackers than ever deal with this cheese again. It was the thickest, sloppiest, nastiest abomination, an affront to God Set, and everybody. These Egyptian gods would have looked at this cheese and just set the whole country on fire. It wasn't worth it. Now, I'm not sure what exactly caused Egypt to fall in real life. Whether it was money problems, they ran out of food, or was a war. Well, I'm here to tell you it's none of those things. They discovered the vegan cheese. It smelled abhorrent. And God forbid I made the mistake of tasting it. And I almost, myself, turned vegan right then and there. I was this close to giving up on cheese forever. And on top of not being fun to eat, it was also a pain in the ass to clean. So obviously, just like at any restaurant, you gotta wash dishes so they're clean. Because you need something to put the food in. Now, for the most part, washing dishes is pretty easy. But sometimes a lot of dishes. So after the lunch rush, the dinner rush, you got a big load of dishes to do. But for the most part, it's not that difficult to clean. So we have a triple sink. We've got basically like a jacuzzi. We call it a tumble sink. Where there's these jets and they tumble the water around. And we have this high power grade soap that cleans it. So for the most part, you can use the shower head thing that we have over the sink and just spray it. But we do also have sponges. So there's black beans, there's red sauce, and then a couple other like really tough substances that are stubborn, where you gotta use some elbow grease on the sponge. Now for the really tough stuff to clean, like red sauce, I use bun water, which is basically almost boiling water that I use to soften it. So if you get a pan full of red sauce, you bun water it, and you let the hot water just kind of loosen it up, and then you can wash it later. Well, this vegan cheese survived the bun water. You had to bun it twice, because it would still linger on the pan. I remember this one time, I forget which coworker it was, but someone was trying to clean vegan cheese off of a pan, and I guess they got frustrated, because they took that pan and they slam dunked it into the garbage. Honestly, alright, man. But it was that bad. Thankfully, it was very limited time, and we've never had it back since. And I pray that it never comes back. Here, giddy. You know, so many people do that. I've tried that, and it never works. You know, I try saying kitty really fast, and also, you make that noise, like that clicky noise, like, or you go like, but I've owned a cat, like I've owned Cruiser before. For those that don't know, I used to have a cat named Cruiser, but when we moved, I had to give him away, unfortunately. Even on my own cat, that has never worked. When I try, like this, all that happens is my cat just looks at me like I'm nuts. He's like, he looks at me like I'm not okay, like I need to go to a facility. He just gives me this look like, you okay there, bud? And then on, like, random cats, they either completely ignore me, or they just give me the weird look, like there's something wrong with me. What's up with this guy? See, maybe I'm just not doing it right, or maybe I'm just not the one. But that has yet to work for me. So yeah, anyway. But yeah, there was just the nastiest substance on the planet. I think it would have rather smelled poop than smell the vegan cheese. So, Burrito Horn, please, for the love of God and all that is holy, never bring that cheese back ever again. Now also, at Burrito Horn, there's really no gluten-free options, because most of all of the tortillas are flour, and then the hard shell tacos, they might be corn, but I'm not entirely sure. We have a lot of really salty and really sweet options. So we had this one customer. He bought 4 burritos, paid, and then he asked if they were gluten-free. And we just kind of had to tell him, like, I'm gonna be honest, there's really not the place for you. Now, thankfully, he was really sweet about it. We gave him a refund. He's like, yeah, you know, that's my bad. I probably should have asked before I bought it. So at the very least, he was a good customer. He didn't yell at us. You know, in my experience, at least, it's really only a small handful of customers that give me a hard time. But I'd say 98% of them are fine. It's just you hear so much about that 2% that it seems like a lot. And it kind of is a lot. But most people are very kind, thankfully. Alright, time to cross this river. So for these river levels, they're either the easiest thing ever or very time-consuming. You just gotta very slowly pick away at it when you can. A couple videos ago, I remember I beat this in like 30 seconds, had a fireball, and I just exploded the whole thing. A lot of traffic in the water today. So my great uncle has a lake house, and we're actually going there pretty soon. We've been there a couple times, and he's got a boat. Now, here's a question. Is a regular car license enough to drive a boat, or do you need a boating license? And also, like, is there rules of the water like there is rules of the road? Obviously there's buoys and there's shallow zones and speed limits, but like, what are the traffic laws? Like, how do you yield and stuff? I guess you just don't hit the other boats. So anyway, it's me, my grandparents, and a lot of extended family came. It was a really fun time. And my grandma's driving the boat, and I think she got a little too close to a buoy because the propeller hit the rope, and we didn't find this out till later, but one of the propellers were cracked, and the whole rest of the trip, the boat was like, the back end of the boat was kind of sinking into the water, so it was like tilted upright. But thankfully, like, they understood, like, you know, shit happens, they paid him back for it. Somehow we're being invited back this year, which is a miracle. I would have been like, yep, that's the last time we're seeing this place. But like I said, stuff happens. That's my motto. Alright, I like this map. This map looks pretty cool. The bird statues. Well, we've got all 4 of the jars, so we'll be able to play the bonus level later. So recently at work, I didn't actually see it happen, but I heard about it. So we had this problem all day where nobody could read the menu. Everyone was asking, like, what kind of combos we had, what types of tacos and burritos we had. And we're really confused because the menu's right there. Until eventually Mimosa, she goes outside. I think she was grabbing something out of her car. And she notices something. And she comes back in and she's like, a bird just pooped all over the menu. Now, it was probably more than one bird because it was a lot of bird poop. But the entire menu was just covered with bird fecal matter. I don't know what bird nest we angered, but you couldn't barely see anything. See, Mimosa had to clean that whole mess up. God rest her soul. Now, I don't know why this happens. I don't try to do it. I don't do it on purpose, but it happens anyway. So right now, I think I sound pretty normal. Maybe I'm talking like one notch higher than I normally do. Because when I'm making a video, like I get in a certain sort of mood. Like I get in the zone and I kind of be a little more active. But when I'm taking orders at work, because I'll smile when I talk when I'm taking orders, because I like to. So when it comes to work, I am a bit of a tryhard. I like to get there, do a good job, give 100%. For some reason, when I'm talking on the speaker, my voice goes really high-pitched. So I'm like, "Welcome to Taco Bell, what can I get started for you? Would you like any sauce? Would you like the combo or just the nuggets?" Like, I don't... It's like a subconscious thing. I've been trying not to do it. But for some reason, once I get on that speaker, it just goes up like 3 octaves. Now, it's become kind of a running joke, but I've actually had a handful of people call me ma'am. They thought I was a woman. And my one manager was like, "Okay, man, I'm going to start throwing sauce packets at you till you stop doing that." I don't know what it is. But, like, I get on that speaker and it's just goes from 0 to 10. So I wonder if anybody else has that problem. Let me know if that's a problem you're having or if that's just me. Ooh yeah, pyramid blocker. That, fireball, and backward ball. Best power-ups in the game. And I guess lightning, but that's very situational. Like, it's very circly. There's not a whole lot of, like, straight segments. I guess there's one right there. Yeah, in the right situation, if you get a part of the track that's, like, strictly vertical, lightning can really come in handy. You ain't getting here. Y'all ain't winning. So, I think you can actually get a lot of colors. There's red, blue, green, yellow, purple, white, black, teal, and so if you have all the colors, you can have 9 different colors. That is insane. Scorpion's not the best power-up, but it is pretty cool to just watch it come shred a line. Oh, and also I have Burrito Horn. Now, it wasn't like officially, it was sort of an introduction. But a couple weeks ago, I actually made food for the first time in my job. So when I first started 3 years ago, we had some real bad managers. And they were training me on service, but every time I would mess up, they would get mad and just send me away somewhere. And I would just start cleaning because they weren't really doing a good job of training me. So eventually I just started doing that by default. I get into work, start cleaning some dishes. And for 2 years, that's what I did. I just cleaned. So, you know, dishes, garbage, clean the dining room, like, just make the place look good. Well, eventually our GM was like, "Hey, I can't really pay someone just to clean. Do you want to try to do service?" And I said, "Alright." Now, thankfully, all those managers are gone. Now we have really good people at Burrito Horn. Yeah, I will say, not including the people that were there when I first started, but these past 3 years, the people I work with, some of the best people I've ever met, I hope they never leave. And the sad thing is, they probably will one day. Like, one day it's gonna be like the Sandlot, where everybody leaves and goes their own separate ways. Hopefully that's not for a long time. But anyway, so got trained on service, got pretty good at it. But believe it or not, I've never actually made anything, like food-wise, until a couple weeks ago. So basically when you're wrapping tacos, it's like you're making a paper airplane. You just grab the taco, you go over the top with it, and then you fold the sides up. Now one thing I found kind of interesting is you always want to fold away from yourself. So when you're rolling burritos, you always want to like push it away from you. And then Mr. Cheez-It was the one that was showing me all this. And one of the first things you do with a burrito is you gotta spread the ingredients so it gets all across the tortilla. He's like, alright, Master, just like you're wiping your ass, just spread that. And I thought that was really funny. Alright, so I'm actually gonna try to get the treasure. Because normally I just try to kill as many bugs as possible. But now, coins are really useful because you can buy items at the store. But points don't do anything, that's just for bragging rights. So I've never really focused on the gems, but this one time I'm going to try to get as many gems as possible. And that is how you do Luxor. Another floor of the pyramid is complete. Well, that's it for this time. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And everybody, just do me a little favor. Have yourselves a great day.